The delivery dot in the year 2075, people didn't buy pets from stores anymore. They ordered them online smart pets. No mess, no food, no training. Just loyalty, instant connection. Emotional support with artificial intelligence. Jay was a quiet guy. He lived alone in a small apartment, high above the city streets of Neo-Tokyo. He worked from home, ate the same food every day, and hardly spoke to anyone. His world was small and empty. One night, while scrolling through his feed, an ad popped up. Smart companion pet, 100% emotional bond, limited units available. Jay raised an eyebrow. The video showed a soft, glowing capsule. It opened, and a cute robot puppy ran out, wagging a digital tail. Jay smiled for the first time in days. "Why not?" he said. He clicked order now. The screen flashed. Delivery in 24 hours. Please stay home. The next evening, Jay heard a loud thump outside his door. Not a knock, not a ring. A thump, heavy, like metal hitting metal. Opened the door. No one was there, but something was. A long black capsule stood upright like a human-sized egg. It had no labels, no buttons. Just a blinking red light in the center. Jay frowned. This doesn't look like a pet. He reached out, hesitated, then touched the light. Click. The capsule hissed. A sharp sound filled the air, like pressure escaping a deep chamber. Cold steam poured out from the seams. Then it opened. Inside. Was a girl. She was not moving. Her skin was pale. Her clothes were strange tight silver fabric, glowing with lines that pulsed slowly like a heartbeat. Around her neck was a metallic collar with blinking blue lights. Jay stepped back. What the hell? Suddenly, her eyes opened, bright, silver, glowing softly. She looked at him. And then she whispered, "You activated me." Jay's hands were shaking. He grabbed his phone and called the number from the website. The call connected. "Hello? I think there's a mistake. I ordered a smart pet, but the voice on the other end sounded robotic. Sir, your order ID is unauthorized. Please remain calm and do not engage with the unit." "What do you mean, unauthorized?" The voice continued, flat and cold. "Do not bond with the unit. Extraction team will arrive shortly." Then the call ended. Jay stared at the phone. Bond? What? Bond? What is going on? He looked back at the girl. She was now sitting up inside the capsule, looking around with curious eyes. Then she looked at him again. "You touched the capsule," she said softly. "That means you're the one." "The one what?" Jay asked, but she didn't answer. Instead, she stepped out, barefoot, light on her feet, almost floating. Jay noticed something odd. The floor where she stepped glowed for a second, then faded. He backed away. "Listen, I don't know who you are or what this is, but I'm not allowed to leave you now," she said. Jay blinked. "What?" She pointed to the collar. "The link is formed." "Unbound." "Bound to what?" "To you," she said, "until release." Jay was confused, scared, and strangely curious. "Who sent you?" he asked. She tilted her head. "I don't remember. I was asleep for a long time." Jay felt a chill. This wasn't a smart pet. This was something else. Something advanced and alive. He asked again slowly, "What's your name?" She blinked, thought for a second, then said, "I don't have one, but you may give me one. If you like." Jay hesitated, then said, "Zia, you look like a Zia." She smiled for the first time. It was small but real. "I like that," she whispered. That night, Jay couldn't sleep. Zia sat quietly in the corner of the room, watching stars from the window. She didn't eat, didn't drink, but her eyes never closed. Jay kept looking at the capsule. Something was printed on the inside, only visible under the light. It read, Classified Unit 7. Experimental hybrid. Handle with extreme caution. J. Swallowed hard. What did I bring into my home? Outside, in the distance, something beeped. A red light blinked on a satellite tower. Quiet, hidden. A message was sent into space. Unit 7 has been activated. Location, Earth. Civilian bonding confirmed. Jay never imagined his quiet life would turn into a science fiction story. 2 days ago, he was working from home, eating instant noodles, and ordering things online just to feel something. Now there was an alien girl named Zia sitting on his sofa, watching cartoons and learning to mimic human speech. She was not normal. Jay knew that from the moment she stepped out of the capsule, she didn't breathe like a human. She didn't blink. She didn't even eat. Though she asked about every food commercial on TV. Why do people chew? She asked one morning, poking a slice of toast with her finger. Jay tried to explain. It breaks food so the body can use it. She tilted her head. I don't need that. I convert light into energy. Jay raised an eyebrow. Like a plant? Zia thought for a second. No, faster than that. The days passed and Zia learned quickly. Too quickly. She memorized his Wi-Fi password after hearing it once. She hacked his TV to remove the ads. She rewrote his home assistant's voice to sound like hers. But what scared Jay the most was how fast she picked up emotions. One evening, Jay was on the phone with a friend, his only friend, and the call ended with a cold. Yeah, maybe another time. He tried to act normal, but Zia noticed. Why? Are you sad? She asked, standing too close. Jay sighed. It's nothing. Just ... People don't really want to talk to me. Zia studied his face. Then I will talk to you. Always. Jay smiled a little. But in the back of his mind, something felt off. This wasn't a pet. This wasn't a robot. This was something in between and maybe something much more. That night, while Jay slept, Zia stood by the window again. Her glowing eyes scanned the stars like she was searching for home. The light from her collar blinked softly like a heartbeat. In Metal. Jay woke up and found her standing in the dark. You okay? He asked. Zia didn't move. I had a memory. Jay rubbed his eyes. A dream? No, it came back. Just for a second. She turned around. Her expression was calm, but her voice was shaking. I saw a room. White walls. Cold lights. I was lying down. Machines were scanning me. I think I was made. Jay stood silently. He didn't know what to say. Zia whispered, and I think I escaped. The next day, strange things started happening. Jay's smart devices, fridge, lights, even his wristwatch began glitching. Some of them turned off completely. Others showed symbols he didn't understand. Alien symbols. Zia said nothing when he showed her. She just stared. Later, while Jay was checking his emails, he noticed a strange message in his inbox. No sender. No subject. Just one line. You are now marked. Stay inside. Jay's heart pounded. Zia, do you know what this means? She nodded slowly. It has begun. What has? The signal. When I woke up, it was sent. They know I'm here. And now, they know about you too. Jay froze. Who's they? Zia walked over and touched the collar around her neck. The ones who made me. The ones who want me back. Jay stepped away. I didn't sign up for this. I just wanted a pet. Zia looked hurt. Just for a second. Do you want me to leave? Jay looked at her, really looked. She was strange, yes. Dangerous maybe, but lonely, just like him. And scared, even if she didn't show it. No, he said finally. I don't want you to leave. Zia smiled. Softly. Then I will stay. Until the end. That night, A knock came at the door. A soft, controlled knock. Not human. Jay peeked through the peephole. No one was there. But on the floor was a black envelope. He picked it up and opened it. Inside was a single card, smooth, cold. It read, "Return the unit or be erased." Jay turned to Zia, who was already standing behind him. "They found us," she said calmly. He looked into her eyes. "What do we do now?" Zia stepped forward. Her voice was steady. "We prepare." That was the night Jay stopped seeing her as a mistake and started seeing her as something more, not a pet, not a machine, but something in between and somehow a part of his life now. The sky looked normal. Birds flew. Cars moved. People walked to work like always. But Jay could feel it. Something wasn't right. Ever since the black envelope appeared, the world felt different. Like eyes were following him, watching his every move, and not just human eyes. Zia was quiet that morning. Too quiet. She stood near the window, her hands glowing faint blue, her eyes scanning the sky like a radar. Jay sipped his coffee, watching her closely. "They're near," she finally whispered. Jay nearly dropped his cup. "Who? Them?" She nodded. "Their presence is hidden, but I can feel the disruption. Signals, frequencies not from Earth." Jay looked out the window. He didn't see anything, just an old man walking, his dog and a delivery drone floating by. "You mean aliens are literally watching us right now?" he asked. Zia didn't answer. Instead, she raised her hand and made a slow motion as if drawing a circle in the air. A small transparent screen appeared, floating like magic. Jay stepped closer, eyes wide. "What is that?" "A scan window. It reads nearby threats," Zia replied. The screen flashed red. A map of the neighborhood showed blinking dots, 3 of them, moving slowly toward Jay's building. "They are not from here," Zia said softly, "but they look human." Jay felt his heart pounding. Why are they coming? They think I'm a weapon, a failed experiment that escaped. But now I'm something else, because of you. Me? What do I have to do with this? Zia turned to him. When you opened the capsule and spoke my name, you became my anchor. You activated my link. That connection made me stronger, but also visible. Jay stepped back. "So I'm the reason they found you?" "No," she said. "You're the reason they can't control me anymore." Later that day, Jay left the apartment to get supplies, food, water, anything he could carry. Zia told him not to go, but he insisted. He needed to feel normal for just a moment. The street was quiet. Too quiet. No traffic sounds. No birds now. Jay walked fast, trying to ignore the strange buzzing in his ears. Then he noticed something. A man in a gray suit. Just standing still at the end of the street. Jay walked past. Then another man. Same suit, same stillness. They didn't blink. They didn't move. Their skin looked almost smooth, like plastic stretched over something underneath. Jay felt cold shiver. He turned around and the first man was now right behind him. "Excuse me," Jay said nervously. The man didn't speak. He tilted his head. Then, in a deep, robotic voice, he said, "Return the unit." Jay ran. He burst into the apartment, locking the door behind him. "They're here," he shouted. Zia didn't even flinch. She was already holding a small metallic cube. "They've activated their clones," she said. "Early. I wasn't ready." Jay was breathing hard. Clones? Biological shells with limited AI, disposable, empty. Zia placed the cube on the ground. It opened like a flower, revealing a spinning orb of light. "Shield activated," she said calmly. Suddenly, the entire apartment flickered. For a second, Jay thought the world had glitched. Then the walls turned transparent from the inside. He could see the street. The sky, everything, but nobody could see in. They can't breach the shield for now. Zia said. Jay sat down, holding his head. I'm just a guy. I didn't ask for any of this. Zia sat beside him. I didn't ask to be made. Jay looked at her. She wasn't just a machine. There was pain in her voice. A memory she didn't choose. I saw them, Jay said. They looked human. But they weren't. No emotion. Just hollow. They were made to blend in, Zia said. But they're not perfect. That's how you spot them. Jay laughed bitterly. So now we play hide and seek with aliens pretending to be men in suits? Zia nodded. Until we're strong enough to fight back. Jay stood up. What do they want, really? To capture you or to kill me? They want control, she said. Over me. Over the connection between us. They don't understand how it happened. I wasn't supposed to bond. I was supposed to obey. Jay walked to the window, touching the invisible wall. And if they get you? Zia looked at him, her eyes glowing brighter. Then you die, and I get turned off forever. That night, Zia didn't sleep. She sat in the middle of the room, cross-legged as the light from her collar pulsed faster than usual. Jay watched her from the couch. Are you meditating? He asked. I'm upgrading, she said. Jay blinked. Wait, you can upgrade yourself? Now I can, Zia said. Since I bonded with you, my systems are rewriting. I'm not just following orders anymore. I'm becoming. Jay sat up. Becoming what? Zia opened her eyes slowly, alive. Outside the invisible walls, 3 clone units stood on the rooftop across the street. Their eyes blinked in perfect rhythm. One raised a finger, pointed toward the apartment, and said, Target adapting. Await further command. The sky turned orange as the sun dipped behind the tall towers of Neo-Tokyo. Inside Jay's apartment, time felt frozen. The shield Zia had activated still shimmered like invisible glass, hiding them from the world. But it wouldn't last forever. Zia sat with her eyes closed, her hands glowing faintly as she processed more data. Her collar pulsed. Like a slow heartbeat, blue, then white, then dim again. Jay paced the room. His hands trembled. They're not giving up, he muttered. They're out there waiting, like wolves. Zia opened her eyes. No, wolves kill for hunger. These things kill for control. Jay walked over to the window, staring out. A drone hovered nearby, motionless. He wasn't sure if it belonged to the city or to them. He turned toward her. We can't hide forever. What if they break through? Zia stood. They won't break the shield. But what if they find a way? She stared at him for a moment, then said, Then we run. That night, the first attack came. It started with a power cut. Every light in the building flickered, then died. But Zia's shield kept glowing, untouched. Jay peeked outside. The street below was dark. Silent. Then, movement. 3 men in gray suits walked slowly down the middle of the road. No expressions, no sound. They didn't knock. They didn't call out. They just stood facing the apartment. Like statues waiting for a command, Zia placed a hand on the wall. They're mapping the building, looking for weak spots. Jay backed away. Can they get in? Zia didn't answer right away. One of them is not like the others. What do you mean? Zia looked at him, her voice quieter now. One is real. Not a clone. A hunter. Jay swallowed. What's the difference? She looked down. Clones follow orders, hunters think. And they enjoy it. At 2:30 a.m., the shield began to flicker. High-pitched sound pierced the room like metal grinding against metal. Zia stood still, her eyes glowing brightly now. The lights on her collar spun faster than before. They've activated a disruptor, she said. They're trying to force a shutdown. Jay's heart pounded. What do we do? Zia raised her hand, and the floating cube returned, spinning and opening into 3 sharp pieces. We fight. Jay stared. With what? Zia looked at him and said calmly, with me. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed through the hallway. The main door to the building was gone. Blown open, Jay rushed to the corner of the room where a secret storage panel in the wall slid open. He hadn't known it was there. Inside were strange-looking devices, metal rods, glowing spheres, and something that looked like armor made of light. I built this while you slept, Zia said. You'll need protection. Jay put on the vest. It felt weightless. He held a metal rod that hummed in his hand. Then the first clone stepped through the hallway door. It moved fast, too fast. But Zia moved faster. She raised her palm, and a flash of white light burst forward. The clone's body froze mid-air, like it had been paused. Then it shattered into pieces of soft gray dust. Holy, Jay couldn't even finish. Zia turned to him. More are coming. Suddenly, a tall figure entered behind the broken clone. He didn't wear a suit. He wore black armor, smooth like liquid metal. His eyes weren't glowing, they were black. Pure black. The hunter. He didn't speak. He simply raised one finger and pointed at Jay. Zia stepped in front of him. You won't take him. The hunter tilted his head slightly. Then, faster than anything Jay had ever seen, he was across the room. Zia blocked his strike with her arm. Sparks flew. The ground cracked beneath them. Jay dove behind the couch as the two began to fight. Zia glowing like a star, the hunter moving like a shadow. Every blow shook the walls. Furniture flew. Glass shattered. Light and darkness clashed in bursts of raw energy. Zia landed a heavy strike, sending the hunter through the wall. For a second, everything was still. Then, the hunter spoke for the first time. Connection unstable. She is changing. His voice was cold, broken, like 2 machines speaking at once. Zia stepped forward. You don't understand. I was never yours. You are a weapon, he said. Nothing more. No, she said softly, standing beside Jay now. Not anymore. Suddenly, a surge of blue energy exploded from her body, pushing the hunter out of the apartment entirely. He flew through the air, crashing into the street below. The clone scattered. The shield flickered once, then returned to full power. Jay stood slowly, eyes wide. You could have killed him earlier. Why didn't you? Zia turned to him, breathing hard for the first time. Because I needed you to see it, she said. I needed you to know what I really am. Jay looked at her, this strange, glowing girl who had fallen into his life. You're not a weapon. He said, You're a person. Zia smiled faintly. Maybe, or maybe I'm still becoming one. Jay walked over and touched her shoulder. Whatever you are, I'm with you. Zia looked up at the stars through the broken ceiling. They'll send more. I know, Jay said. Let them come. The apartment was a mess. Walls cracked, lights flickering, furniture broken. But inside the chaos, a strange calm had settled. Zia sat on the floor, her back against the wall, her silver suit dim now, no longer glowing. Her energy had weakened. After the fight with the hunter, Jay sat across from her, bruised and silent, watching her like someone who just saw lightning up close and realized it had feelings. He broke the silence first. Are you okay? Zia didn't answer immediately. She stared at her open palm as if seeing it for the first time. I felt pain, she said finally. Not damage pain. That's new. Jay blinked. You mean like real pain? She nodded slowly. It wasn't coded. It was mine. Jay didn't know what to say. The more time he spent with Zia, the more she felt less like a machine and more like a person learning to be human. After a while, Zia stood up. Her collar flickered. We need to go, she said. I can't protect this place anymore. Then next. Wave won't be clones or hunters. Jay stood too. Then what? She looked at him. Trackers. Silent. Deadly. They don't fight. They erase. Jay grabbed a backpack and shoved a few essentials inside. Zia opened her palm and summoned the small glowing tube again. It hovered between them and pulsed once. A map appeared in the air. There's a facility on the edge of the city. She sighed. Underground. Abandoned. That's where I was made. That's where the answers are. Jay stared at the map. You want to go back? Zia nodded. If we don't, they'll keep coming. I need to find out who I was before I became this. It took them 2 hours to reach the edge of the city. They used side streets, rooftops, and alleys. Jay was surprised how silent Zia moved even in daylight. Like her feet didn't touch the ground. The building was hidden beneath an old shipping warehouse. Rusted signs, broken cameras, forgotten by time. But Zia remembered it clearly. This is where they tested me, she said. I was in Chamber 7. Inside, the air was cold. Dead screens lined the walls, tables covered in dust. Jay brushed his fingers over an old console. Zia walked toward a sealed door. She placed her hand on the scanner. The lock clicked open. Behind. It was a small room with a single object in the center, a black glass capsule. Just like the one she arrived in. Jay stepped forward. Is that yours? No, Zia whispered. That's the truth capsule. What's inside? My memory. Zia walked toward it, touched the surface, and the capsule glowed. A soft hum filled the room, and holographic images appeared floating in the air. Jay watched in silence. There were scientists, dozens walking around a white lab. In the center of the room, a small pod. Inside, a glowing figure curled in sleep. Zia. Then, audio. Subject 7 shows advanced mimicry. Emotional response patterns are evolving. Warning independent. Thought detected. Another voice. Prepare for reset. She's developing a sense of identity. That's a threat. The scene changed. Zia, awake, being forced into a chair. Bright lights. Needles. Her face showed no fear, only confusion. Then something strange, she escaped. Not by force, but by emotion. A young scientist spoke to her. I'm sorry. I can't let them kill you. He pressed a button. Her pod sealed. And launched. The recording ended. Jay stood frozen. They were going to erase you, he said quietly. Zia nodded. Because I became more than they built. Jay looked at her. That man, the one who saved you? Zia lowered her eyes. He died. I remember now. He was the only one who treated me like a person. Jay was quiet for a moment. Then he asked, why did they send you here in the first place, to Earth? Zia looked directly at him. They didn't. He did. He programmed the pod to find someone who wouldn't fear me. Someone with emotional openness. The capsule scanned billions of minds and it chose yours. Jay took a step back. Wait. Me? Why? Because, she said gently, you were alone, but you didn't give up. You were open. Still kind. That's rare. He sat down. Everything suddenly felt heavier. So I was just the best option? Zia walked over and sat beside him. No, you were the only one I could trust. Suddenly, the lights flickered. The cube in Zia's hand glowed red. They're here, she said. Jay grabbed the metal rod again. We fight? Zia shook her head. No, we run. But I thought we came here for answers. We got them, she said, standing. Now, they want to destroy the proof. As they ran back through the tunnels, explosions shook the ground. Fire burst through the corridor behind them. Jay coughed through smoke. They're erasing the whole place. They don't want anyone to know I was more than a weapon, Zia said. They reached the exit. Jay burst into the open air. Zia right behind him. The building collapsed in the distance. Zia looked back one last time. Jay asked, "What now?" Zia turned to him. Her eyes no longer just glowed, they burned with purpose. "Now," she said, "we make sure they can never do this again." The city skyline was burning orange as Jay and Zia moved through the shadows. Behind them, smoke rose from the ruins of the underground lab. The truth capsule was gone, destroyed in fire and silence, but its memories now lived inside Zia, and that made her dangerous, more dangerous than ever. They found shelter in a broken-down train station, beneath the old highway. No cameras, no eyes, just rust and silence. Jay sat on the cracked floor, out of breath, his hand shaking as he drank from a water bottle. Zia stood nearby, silent, alert. Her collar was glowing brighter now, constantly shifting colors. It had never done that before. "Something's happening to me," she whispered, not looking at him. Jay looked up. "What do you mean? I'm changing? Again?" "But this time, it's not just programming. It feels like something is growing inside me. Something alive." Jay stood, concern rising in his chest. "Is it dangerous?" Zia didn't answer. She closed her eyes and placed a hand on her chest. "My systems are unstable. The emotional bond is rewriting me faster than I expected." Jay walked closer. "Can I help?" Zia opened her eyes. "You already are, but that's the problem." That night, while Jay slept curled against a wall, Zia stepped away and connected to a broken train terminal. Wires slithered toward her fingers like roots seeking water. Her mind entered a hidden network. Deep beneath the city's systems. She saw them, the ones still searching for her. And worse, she saw the order. Terminate Subject 7. Clean the link. Reset the human if possible. Zia pulled back, disconnecting. Quickly, her breathing was heavy now. She wasn't just being hunted anymore. Jay was marked for deletion. Morning came with a strange quiet. No sirens, no drones. Just the cold wind. Jay woke up to find Zia gone. Panic hit him instantly. "Zia?" No answer. He searched the tunnels, calling her name again and again. Then he found something, a note, handwritten, on paper. "Jay, they'll never stop while I'm near you. So I'm breaking the bond myself. Please live. Zia." Jay froze. His hands clenched the paper. No. He bolted from the shelter. Outside, he saw her in the distance, standing on the edge of a transmission tower. Arms out, ready to send a signal. He reached her just in time. "Don't!" he shouted, climbing up after her. Zia turned slowly. Her eyes were glowing white, now pure light. "If I overload the link, they'll think I'm gone, dead. They'll stop chasing you." Jay grabbed her arm. "And what happens to you?" "I won't survive the disconnect," she said calmly. Jay shook his head, tears rising. "There has to be another way." Zia looked at him. "This is the way." Jay stepped closer. "I don't care if they come for me. I care about you." Zia blinked. A tear, not a digital illusion, but real water, ran down her cheek. "I was made to obey. Then I was made to run. Now, for the first time, I want to stay." Jay held her hands. "Then stay." She leaned forward, resting her forehead against his. "I'm scared," she whispered. "Good," Jay said. "That means you're real." Suddenly, a sharp buzzing filled the air. A black ship appeared above them, silent, triangular, watching. Zia pulled Jay down just as a beam of light struck the tower. The structure shattered, and both of them tumbled into the ruins below. Jay groaned, trying to get up. Zia lay next to him, her suit flickering. The impact had damaged her core. From the smoke, 4 new figures emerged, not clones, not hunters. These were something else. Tall, sleek, silent. Their faces covered by silver masks. Their bodies glowing faintly with red lines. Zia tried to stand. Her legs gave out. Jay stepped in front of her. "Stay back," he shouted. The figures didn't speak. One stepped forward and raised a glowing spear, but before it could strike, Zia screamed loud, raw, human. Her body flashed with blue fire. The collar exploded into pieces. Time seemed to stop. The attackers froze. Zia stood different now. Taller, brighter. Her eyes no longer glowed like machines. They looked like stars. She raised her hand and all four enemies flew backwards like paper in the wind. Jay stared at her, mouth open. What happened? Zia looked at her hands, breathing heavily. I broke the limit. I'm no longer part machine. Then, what are you? She turned to him. I don't know. But I'm not their tool anymore. That night, they rested again, this time together under an open sky. Zia lay beside Jay, her head on his shoulder. No shield. No running. Just silence. But above them, satellites blinked. Across the galaxy, a signal was sent. Subject 7 evolution. Confirmed. Project failed. Earth is now compromised. Somewhere far away, beyond the stars, something massive began to move. A new ship, a new threat. Zia opened her eyes slowly. They're sending everything now. Jay nodded. Then we fight. The stars above Earth no longer twinkled with peace. They pulsed steady, unnatural, warning of something approaching. Something massive. Something final. Jay stood on the rooftop of an old factory, looking up. The sky shimmered, disturbed by frequencies only Zia could fully hear. She stood beside him, quiet, eyes closed, listening. They're here, she whispered. Jay didn't ask how she knew. He'd learned to trust her instincts more than his own eyes. The connection between them had gone far beyond the collar, far beyond code or biology. It was something living, something real. She turned toward him. One last fleet, one last command. They think this time I'll surrender. Jay clenched his fists. What did they want now? Me, she said, and if not me, then my. And a rumble echoed across the city. People came out of their homes. Phones lost signal. Screens turned black. In the sky above, something emerged, slow, silent, enormous. A ship the size of a city, shaped like a perfect ring, floating just above the clouds. And then a voice. Not heard through ears, but through every device, every thought. Subject 7. You are not authorized to evolve. Return for extraction. Or your bonded will be erased. Jay's heart skipped. He looked at Zia. They're threatening me again. Zia nodded. Her voice was soft but sure. They don't understand what you mean to me. They still think I'm a tool, a project. But I'm more. Because you chose me. Jay stepped closer. And I choose you again. Every time. She smiled faintly, almost sadly. Then they'll come for you too. He looked up at the ship. Let them. The first wave came fast. Dozens of silver pods dropped from the ring-shaped ship like falling stars. They hit the ground without explosions, just soft impact, like seeds planting themselves. From each pod, a creature rose, not machines. Not clones. These were alive, breathing, engineered predators with one purpose. Retrieve Dia or destroy everything around her. Jay and Zia stood back to back as the ground shook beneath them. Do you trust me? She asked. With everything? He said. She held out her hand. Then link with me. One last time. Jay reached out. Their hands touched. And in that moment, something beautiful happened. Light wrapped around them. Blue, white, silver. Not cold like before, but warm, glowing, pulsing with life. The bond between human and creation had become something beyond logic, a fusion. Zia's form shifted. Her eyes turned deep violet, hair flowing with light, her voice layered like an echo of stars. Jay's body glowed too, wrapped in energy, his mind synced with hers. He could feel what she felt. He understood her fully now. They moved as one. Zia floated forward, raising her hands. The first creature charged. She didn't strike. She reached out and stopped it. Jay felt it too. She wasn't using force. She was using will. The creature paused, its glowing red eyes fading. It looked at Zia with confusion. Then it stepped aside. More came. But one by one, they paused, halted not by power, but by presence. She's rewriting them, Jay realized aloud. She's overriding their instincts. Zia's voice echoed in his mind. I was designed to obey. But now I command. Up above, the ring ship reacted. A beam of white light shot down from its center, aiming directly for Zia. Jay cried out, Zia, move! But she didn't. Instead, she whispered, no more running. As the beam reached her, she extended her hand. Just one hand and caught it. The light bent, slowed, then shattered into 1,000 harmless sparks. From within the ship, the voice returned, shaky this time. Impossible. Link unstable. Unit corrupted. Jay smiled. She's not corrupted. She's free. Zia lifted both hands now, her body glowing like a second sun. The air trembled. The ship above cracked like glass. Systems overloaded. Sirens blared. One final message echoed across space. Mission failed. Human connection uncontrollable. Shutdown initiated. The ship began to collapse, folding in on itself. Vanishing in a silent burst of white dot, silence followed. All around the city, people looked to the sky, unsure if they had seen a dream or the beginning of a new era. Jay sat down, breathless. Zia floated gently to the ground beside him. Her glow faded slowly. Her form returned to normal, but something had changed. She looked more human now. Her smile was softer. Her heartbeat was real. Jay reached for her hand. She took his. It's over? He asked. Zia looked to the stars. For now, Jay nodded. So, what are you now? She thought for a moment, then said, not a weapon, not a machine. Just someone who was made and then found a reason to exist. He squeezed her hand. And what's that reason? Zia looked at him, eyes full of light and warmth. You. Somewhere beyond Earth. In a cold, distant command center, silence replaced the usual control room chatter. An officer stood, watching a dead screen. Subject 7. Disconnected. Human link. Unbreakable. He turned to his superior officer. What now? The commander replied. Coldly. We wait, or we prepare. Because now, the human fights back.